Okay, let's go. What's the topic again? Rock bottom, isn't it? The place where you maybe would like to avoid, but you can't if you want to reach something valuable. I'm talking about rock bottom and my journey through my rock bottom experience on JONIPOD today. Through all my 20s, I've been basically walking through a thick fog, in the meaning of not knowing where to go, not wanting to set a plan, because then I know I would fail. Rather just hide and stay in the fog, which I could do for most of my 20s. Wasn't that big of an issue. You're just young and stupid. And I could collect some maybe experiences of failures and some fun stuff and some minor joyful things that weren't like good for the long run, but fun in the moment, which meant, yeah, my 20s were just collecting experiences. Then, as I approached my 30s, I was really just, in my experience now, nothing much. But the good thing, I couldn't even see it because I was hiding and wasn't really looking and had my protective on my vision and just didn't really go anywhere and haven't done a few jobs. Didn't know how to enter a relationship at all, because I didn't even get a date, because I wasn't even in the mood, in the setting for anybody to date me, and yeah, like, you know, I had Christmas and visiting the old people that I also visited, and then everybody was looking at me, just okay, what is he doing? Not really asking. It was to the point where people didn't really ask, like, how was your autumn? How is your spring gonna be? Because there was just nothing there to ask this little guy in the fog, really. Again, my experience. But that's what matters today. And then, for my occasion, it was I lived with mom. I had a work because I knew somebody, and they said, after a little bit more than half a year, you can't work here anymore. It makes sense to this video, because that work was digging holes in the ground and asphalt and mud, and it's cold and dark, like the same as the rock bottom. You're looking for rock bottom already. But me, as like a little tiny guy, not contributing much, wasn't really working out. So I had my little contract for half a year, and then it was over, and I lived with mom and did nothing really. And then mom sent me to my dad, which was from Sweden to Germany, and I could help my dad with some renovations in the house. Basically, just what should we do with Jonathan? Just make him help a little here, and hopefully he'll figure something out from that foggy place of his. Yeah, so then I moved to Germany at the basement of my dad's house and helped him renovate the house inside of the whole COVID situation, 2021. And that was really painful. First of all, you had to work a little, and then I had to confront my dad all the time, because we lived in the same place and we couldn't go anywhere. And for some reason, in that switch to a new place, I started to looking up videos online for pleasure a lot, of course, and also for maybe some development, and came across stuff like, there's 7 things I can do. No, there's 7 things a human can have, and if he has less than 3 of them, it's a problem, and then you have like more than 4 or more, it's better. It's starting to get like a normal life that's not monotone, but it has variations in it. So then I looked at myself and was like, how can I reach that? Or so. And the funny part was, it wasn't in the fog anymore. It was just that very painful that I saw myself in my dad, everything I had learned from him that wasn't beneficial, and I did myself, like aggression or like toxic aggression or other habits that I realized if I want to be in a relationship one day, I shouldn't do. Funny, on the way to this video, I did a lot of those annoying stuff to my girlfriend now, but managed to say sorry and maybe make it kinda okay again, because I was at least aware of them, I was doing them. But it happened today too. So back to 4 years ago, 2021, when I was sitting in the basement on my bed and just looking around and be like, cleaning my room was the advice. Okay, wasn't clean, wasn't good. Well, I didn't have a good bed, wasn't like washed bed sheets. Then other things like having a job, didn't have a job, helped out here, cooked a little, help out in the house, maybe contribute in some way. Dad paid for all of my needs, what I needed to buy and stuff. And then I just, for some reason, got a push because I was realizing how this is also some kind of last chance for me. I don't know if it was, but that helped to really push again. I want a relationship. That was, I think, the goal. And then the anti-goal, which kept me going much stronger, was not to end up in a park, living homeless somewhere alone. That's the anti-picture that my uncle, he did that. Didn't want to do that. So I had like a goal of a relationship and an anti-goal of that. And those two, I was in between, bouncing around, but it was now a goal. And that meant I'm out of the fog, I'm into rock bottom situation, because I realized the situation where I was, I couldn't really fall much deeper except not having a home at all. Dad gave me shelter in his house, but if we take away Dad, I was homeless. So for me, okay, rock bottom here, and very many painful habits that I realized I need to probably fix before I even start dating. So that was one of the main things now to take hold on, and also a job, right? Okay, so let's say those two, getting a job. I just, with my push, I invited people to my birthday and said to people, I need a job. Please tell me if you have any, because I moved to Germany without any education that's usable here. I just had built boats on a school in Sweden, didn't help anywhere here. And wanted to go by, talking to people. See if anybody had any ideas. And luckily, one of the guys at the birthday said, yeah, the company I work on, they need people in the production, they produce motors. So I gathered all my papers that I could, and I had to also realize now I probably need to stay here in Germany, because even I'm torn, but I need to work, relationship. If I get a work, then I can start dating. And did that. And actually scrambled the papers, make a photo that was so fake with a suit to look like a bankman. And sent it all in, get to the interview, and got the job, actually. So that step was then, getting it, and then also keeping it for 2 years, because you need to work there 2 years to get a fixed contract. But at least I had one basic thing. And then at the same time, I started a list at home. Every time I did something that I realized would be a problem in the future relationship, like lashing out or imbalanced or need to take a rest or and didn't really was able to communicate like with my dad, like all these fights with a parent, with a dad. I wrote up and wrote like a solution to how to fix them, me, and also how other people can react. I think that was all to get aware how many things I do that are not beneficial in a relationship. Maybe it also was because I was sitting in my bed and thinking, what can I do? And then the third part, my room got like some kind of bad situation, at least clean the sheets, at least have clean clothes, sort out the ones that didn't look that good. I bought myself a fake leather jacket on Amazon for $70, just to feel like I want to now also be able to say no to others and yes to myself more. In stuff like at work, asking for a holiday and pushing for it until I get it because I need it or I want it, some stuff like that. And there were like things coming along, which another thing was basically music. I had like this playlist on Spotify where I listened to a song for 3 months. I also walked around with it and singing, and in the mornings, and to work through some inner places where I got stuck, where the song helped me. I think a lot of people do that. And then also motivational videos on YouTube where they just kick you out of bed and get you walking and get you do some push-ups. And then this was all these like starts I did. And then again, stupid me had a goal. So now stuff fail on the way. 1 month into my work, I ripped off my Achilles tendon at volleyball and was like bedbound for 2 months, and then had 6 months of recovery and 4 months until I get to work again. And then you have this push to work and the frightened to maybe lose their job. But I pushed myself as much as possible and also get back early to work and showed I wanted to stay there because I had this fighting instinct, not as before where I had this fog instinct. And I needed a relationship or a date, just a date. And I need to keep my job for that, otherwise restart. Then other setbacks, like I want to push for a run, and then I do it for a week, and then it falls back, and I can't do it for 2 weeks again or something. Became interesting that the journey started off straight, and then it took off in different directions. Always looking in the back mirror for homeless me, and then sometimes looking forward for the other one, and also feeling the pain. And I remember having like a lot of body pain to go through, because I either needed to do it now or later, but there was a lot of pain, and I knew before also I need to go through a lot of pain, and I need to make pain a better friend and not run away, and fix stuff also with the wounds that I had with my dad. Like he said something and then it wounded me again and again and again. This balance was a whole thing. But as you see now, if I summon it up a little, it's the summon up is the biggest push for me was always the anti-motivation, me homeless. And the goal was relationship. So there was like the navigation goal, and there was the energy behind to push it. That mixture led me to find certain YouTube videos, certain people, certain stuff. It's still about me, so I know if I sit on my bed and think really, I know what I need to work on. If I just want to listen to myself, which I did. And I also knew in this thing, in this whole process, that I don't know what's good is coming out of this, but there is going to be more than I can think of now. And I can just tell you, there is more good coming out of this. And I just had a whole day with my girlfriend at spa at some resort, and we have so much beautiful stuff going on, and some good relationship stuff today also. But there's a lot of beautiful things, and I'm moving into my first own apartment with her in 3 weeks, which is the goal I had also. Now I realize when I come to my dad. I just want out of the place with my dad. I just move to my own place. And because I can't earn too much, my girlfriend earns a little bit more, we found a place. And in 3 months, we're gonna move into this apartment. And that's way better than I could imagine. Bye.